See if I'm online. Okay, say I'm live. Thank you. I apologize for lateness. I was online. I dropped. For some reason, my internet was going slow. Had to shut down, reboot again. And when I did that, it didn't see my microphone. And I said, oh, wow. So I had to make some adjustments. So I apologize for coming in late. But I'm here. It's a pleasure to be before you today. I have an interesting uh, topic, if you want to call it that. I'll be broadcasting on Mondays at 8 o'clock and a second message on Wednesday, God permits. So it's my hope that you enjoy what you hear today and share with other individuals. Allow them to hear what you have heard because everyone can be blessed and may be seeking information for themselves. So if you like what you heard, subscribe. You can also go to my YouTube channel, The Hidden Tears of Black Male, The Hidden Tears of Black Male, and look at the videos that you'll see. I'm making some adjustment. I apologize. You can hear what I have to say. I'm quite sure you'll be uh, touched by something I'm saying. So I hope let me see. Yeah, okay, it's not dragging. So the topic of my message is we all are in this together. We all are in it together, has it been said. In the era of the coronavirus, the lockdown, the shutdown, the social distancing, we are hearing from the mouths of politicians, powerful leaders, talk show hosts, rich people, news anchors, essential workers, politicians, local and national, saying we are in this together. We're in this together. Are they really in it together with us? So let me refer to my notes. So people don't want us to go back to work. They say stay home, don't go to work. Stay home, do what we say until whatever. We're in this together. How can we be in it together? As I just mentioned, these individuals, some people are working from home, they're getting a paycheck, and you may be sitting at home not getting any kind of financial resources from the government, and you're just sitting there. They either don't realize it or fail to understand or really don't care that you're not being paid. So you just can't sit home and not do anything. You just cannot sit home and just wait till someone tell you it's okay for you to go back home. If it doesn't make sense, stay home and do what we say. Your bills need to be paid, car notes, grocery, kids need to be fed, medicine, doctor visits, doctor surgeries, and all this kind of stuff is on hold because we are told to stay home. But yet we are in it together. How can we be in it together when you and I are experiencing something and these individuals, if they truly say we are in it together, do they make an effort to say, well, we are in it together. I will help you out financially speaking. I'll pay your bills. I'll pay this. I'll pay that. I'll give you this kind of money. So technically speaking, we are not in it together. We are not in it together because I think different, you think different, and we want to do our own thing. So it is ridiculous to say that we are in it together. My wants and your needs are totally different. If I want to go back to work, if I'm allowed to go back to work, I should go back to work. You should go back to work. We all should go back to work, taking, if the job is available. But when we say and people say, we may have friends, family member, close associate that say, we're in this together. We're in it together. Are we really in it together? We are in it together. Are we really? And I remember watching saw someone put on a video or comment, say they're tired of hearing we're in it together. I'm quite sure you probably tired. They may not be saying it specifically or directly saying we are in it together, but we are not in it together. We tell individuals to stay home. So essential businesses should open. Since when is a liquor store is an essential business? When is an abortion clinic is essential business? Walmart, the big box stores, the restaurants must stay closed. The local grocery store must stay closed. Oh, however, social distancing must be adhered to. Oh, really? Have you watched the news lately? I have seen rioting, looting, stealing, whatever on the local news. We not in it together. I'm not with them. You may know someone that joined that group. So yes, they are in it together to do that, what I just described. And no social distancing comment, no, they might spread the virus. It is newsworthy. It is shown throughout the day. When a regular protest was calm, nonviolent, then they say, well, that's wrong. You should stay home. You cannot protest because you may spread the virus, catch the virus. My thing is the virus prejudice? Think about it. Common sense. Protesters can protest, Black Lives Matter, everybody can do certain things, and no one mentioned newscasters and some politicians don't say these protests should not continue because they can pass the coronavirus. They're not social distancing. They're not wearing masks. And they're out there in the street. Look at these thousand people together. Then you have another group of individuals that's peacefully marching, not doing anything in the community, just marching. But that protest is wrong. It is, they might catch social, they may catch the virus. They're not social distancing. So you telling me that the air that you're breathing right now is prejudiced? Does it distinguish that this is a peaceful protest and this is a not a violent protest? So because the government and people say stay home and follow our orders, the air is blowing around in the air and it comes to the violent protest and it stops because they have a specific cause. So the air turn around and go back to the peaceful protester and give them coronavirus. It doesn't make sense. One group can have this and one group cannot do that. One should be thinking, why? Why? We should always, someone told me something they saw on the news and it was strange to them. And they couldn't figure out, they saw it on the news and I said, did you go any further? They said, what? I said, did you ask why? They said, no, I just saw it on the news. So a lot of us will see things and hear things on the news and hear things from other people's mouths, but do we ask why? Because everything has a hidden agenda. When we are caught in our emotions of I want this, I want that, how it benefits me, what's in it for me, how I can get over, how I can get rich, how I can get money out of it, we come up with all these ideas and methods to satisfy our desire. We miss the true message behind anything. So when the individuals say we're in it together, some states have shut down, extended their lockdown because they say no, we know what's best for you. So quit complaining because we know what's best for you. Then I thought about it. It is said that state and church separation. Oh, really? Some states are saying the churches can't open up. If we open up, if they open up, they are fined $1,000 a day. They can get their license taken. Now I read an article where someone said the officials said we have bulldozed the church down. Then I saw an article 2 days ago where some church went and worship in Walmart. If we can't worship in our building, we can't gather together here or there. They went into the Walmart. So you have the big box stores, you have the abortion clinic, you have the liquor stores, you have certain things that they call essential open up for the general public, but the regular mom and pop store, the person that's working from home, the person that's doing their best that they provide for themselves, the restaurant, the beauty salon, the certain things. Yes, we know the coronavirus is out there. Yes, we must take precautions to be safe. But if you think about it, if you lock down yourself, the body cannot adjust to something like that because it's not used to being confined. Prisoners and when they capture overseas or captured back in the day, doing Hitler and all these other wars, when they're POW, put them in isolation, it does something to the mind, it does something to the body. So we are not made to be in captivity for a long period of time, and especially being told, stay home, don't do this, don't do that, because we are in it together. but yet bills need to be paid, mouths need to be fed, bill, houses and car payments and all that. And these individuals who are working from home, getting their full paycheck, is going to tell me or you, don't work because we know it's best for you, but yet they're still getting a paycheck. Think, that doesn't make sense. So we go along with what they're saying, and then when the people start speaking and thinking for themselves, then you are not you are radical, or you're not getting with the system. You're not down for the struggle because we're not in it together. We all have needs, and we want to meet our needs. Some people are married, some kids have parents have children, infants, giving birth, and whatever you can think of. So when someone say, "Oh, we're in it together," the next time someone say, "We're in it together," and you say, "Yeah, we're in it together," well, can you help me out with information? Can you help me out financially? Can you help me in whatever you think of? And you'll find out quickly that that statement of "we're in it together" is go out of the work, go out of the one door, in the one ear, out the other. Because how can you say we're in it together when I'm not out there rioting and looting and stealing and shooting and causing harm? When I want to be with these individuals who's peaceful protesters, I want to be together with them, I'm not allowed to. So the topic that I want you to begin to think, we need to begin to think, are we really in it together? No, we're not. We only in it together based on what our needs may be at that given moment. It is 8:30 or 9 o'clock or wherever you live in your time zone, and things going to happen in your household known to other individuals unless you make it known to other people. But we are not in it together. Only time we're in it together if we coming for a common cause. When you see the rioting and looting and whatever, they're in it together. When you see another group of peaceful protesters or whomever, they're in it together. So you're going to have a balancing act in and out of people being in it together. So this total lockdown and social distancing and all this kind of stuff, some people want to be out of it. They want to go to work. They want to amount to something. And when you tell individuals that they must stay home, don't go to school, and everybody can't have their way. Think about it. The teachers, the lawyers, or whomever cannot have their way. We have a lot of Indian chiefs and no Indians. Everyone cannot have their way. When we put do it for the children, it it affects people thinking. Because we think about what I think, what I feel, what I want, what I believe, what's in it for me, how it can benefit me, and that's all we're concerned with. We're not concerned about the other person in their living condition. Or, we say, do it my way, but doing it their way does not help you out in your way. So when these politicians and lawyers and doctors and newscasters and rich folks and government officials and mayors and governors and state officials and assemblymen and all these people saying, we are in this together for the long haul. We're in it together because we know it's best for you. But do they really know it's best for you? Have they called you and say, do you agree with this or that? Are you happy? Do they do a survey? The last time I read and the last time I heard, when you go along with the in it together crowd, you are welcome. When you go against it in we are in it together crowd, you're not welcome. You say things that you speak truth, they take it down off of Twitter and social media and everything, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. They scrub it, they take it down. So the question is, if I'm saying a lie, then leave it up because the lie will prove that I'm lying. When we speak the truth, and those who have a different agenda, those who have another intentions in mind, should I not have should I have rights? I'm sorry, I have rights, you have rights. We have rights to decide truth or accept a lie. But when we have other people that think for us, and thought just came to me, when we are free before the coronavirus, we did what we want. We come and go and we stay out all night. We do a lot of things in life. Now, the social distancing and in self-imposed stay-at-home order and quarantine and all this other kind of stuff is in place. It puts somebody in control over our lives. It's almost like when I worked in a prison. 20 or 12-hour shifts. I was responsible for those individuals under me. I was responsible to make sure of their safety. So we almost like we are a prisoner of our own home, but not incarcerated with our hands cuffed and, and behind bars. So we are in a self-imposed prison in our home, and we are told to come and go when they tell us to come and go. They say, we feed you, we give you this, we provide you all the things that you need. Just stay in your house. That happens in other countries. That is happening in other countries where the individual must wait on the state to take care of them, to feed them. So we are in a self-imposed by choice. We in a mental prison where we have become the warden of our mind. We let ourselves out on good behavior. We give ourselves little treats here and there, and we run back in, you know, whatever. So the next time someone say we're in it together, just say, just think about it and say, are we really in it together? And you give them a little synopsis about what you're experiencing. And then ask the question, say, are you experiencing this? And they may say no. Then we're not in it together. If someone said, let's go out and ride and whatever, whatever, I saw in the news this morning that Chicago, there's looting in a high, I guess, a rich business district, and the mayor was saying, we should not tolerate this. This should not be going on. But where was the mayor 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when this was actually going on? They're just letting people do what they want. There's some cities are letting people do what they want. And then when those of us who speak up and say this is not right, then we are told to shut up because they're exercising their free rights to express themselves in protesting and whatever, whatever. But do they have the right to? Do people have the right to go out and loot? And then think about it. Think about any shooting. What does a TV, radio, alcohol, and cigarette have to do with a dead victim? Think about it. What does it have to do? Setting things on fire. What does it have to do? Nothing. People just take advantage of that moment. Oh, there's a riot down the street. Oh, I've been wanting something right now. I'm going to take my homies. We're going to be in it together, and we're going to go in that district, and we're going to burn down that store. But first, we're going to take stuff out of it, like your shoes, Jordan, all this fancy stuff, my watch, my Gucci watch, my gold, my bling, and whatever. And we're going to burn the thing down because I know where I live, they're not going to do nothing because I have heard that they have arrested Joe Blow or Susie or so and so because doing the same thing, and they let them back out on the street. So we have freedom because we all are in it together to commit whatever, whatever, whatever. Then the peaceful protesters say we want to be in it together. We should did not defund the police because we need the police. We're not in it. We are in it together to say we want the police to be behind with us. Defund the police. Think about who it's going to hurt. The black communities. The black community is going to be hurt if you defund the police. Think about it. Say do this. We should not have police officers at all. We should get social workers. Okay. Social workers can come to your house. You may be arguing and fussing with your wife. You may have been drinking. You may have guns in the house. Who is it? I'm social worker so and so. I'm responding to you and your husband is fighting or whatever. Slam. They slam the door. Well, what is social worker going to do? Social worker can't pick up the phone and say, well, can you send an officer? So we don't have that many out there. Another, what if the social worker knock on the door and the person comes with a gun and say, you better get out from my door. I'm going to blow your brains out. What's going to happen? You're going to turn around because the social worker is not going to have a gun. I heard 2 or 3 days ago, the mayor or some city official say, tell the public in the community, the citizen, that you're on your own. Because you're on your own. We're not going to respond to certain calls anymore. We're not going to respond to a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor is like someone steal your battery out your car or throw toilet paper in your house or scratch your car. That is a misdemeanor. No, nothing violent. So we're not going to respond to those calls. When I was when I was a police officer, those misdemeanor calls do turn into felony type things. You can stop someone for a misdemeanor. So that tell me you can stop someone from a misdemeanor and then you're gonna escalate. So what is the social worker supposed to do? Dispatcher, it's not what you say it was. They're really, I see them fighting in the house and they got guns. Well, I think you better dispatch and get on the radio and say, I think you better turn around. So we not in it together. So those phrases are we in it together, social working, we're doing it for the children, and all this yada yada kind of stuff. It makes us feel good. It makes us comforting and whatever. It means, oh, we're doing it for the children. We're doing it because I don't want to die, and excuse me, and he's this person and that person. Since when we have become God? I'm speaking to you right now. We know that people are in the hospital, people are dying, people have died prior to me signing on. We cannot control when we going to die. We can only control our life at that very, very moment. So we as individuals must begin to think we are not in it together when it comes to certain things. Yes, we can be in it together in a peaceful means, and we can be in it together in a violent type means. But we would never, and then there's only two, a violent means, a peaceful means. Yes, we can be in it together. So those who doing violence cannot tell me that we in it together. We not. Those who are doing something peaceful cannot tell a person in the violent group that we in it together. We not. So we must decide, what group do you belong to? What group do you belong to? So we as individuals must wake up. When the churches are quiet and not speaking the truth and telling the people what they need to hear and tell it like it is, when we don't have those who say they speak for us on the scene. Do your homework. Look at all the shootings in Baltimore and Philadelphia and Chicago and New York in the last 6 weeks. Have you heard it on the news? Not really. The only time you can hear a shooting on the news if a police officer shoot a black person, armed or unarmed, then people gonna take to the street and riot and do whatever. They're in it together. Not saying it's good or bad. I'm not saying it's justifying. I'm just simply saying think about when you hear the end, we're in it together. So that happens on the street. That happened. You have defund the police. It hurts the black community. And then when people say we should not defund the police because we need the police, because if we don't have police in your community, who gonna respond to your call? Who gonna respond when you need help? Who gonna respond when your house being broken to? You gonna have to wait on a social worker, whatever title they give them, to come to your house with no gun. If they need a gun, no mace, no baton, just come there in this outfit. They may come in saggy pants. Just kidding. You probably would, if they're not uniform. Yeah, I'm here to help you out. What's up, man? I can't do this and go off. They may not even respond based on the call. So yes, that sounds good. Makes us feel good that we're in it together. When you hear politicians say, we're in it together. I understand your pain. I understand what you're going through. But no, they don't understand because they're not going through. It's like me telling a pregnant woman, I know what you're going through. And I'm not pregnant and I'm a man. I know what the book said because I read it. I took Lamar's class, but I can't tell her what it feels like through those contraction and pain and all this kind of stuff. So we must begin to think. Think by ourselves because the time will come that we're going to have to choose. What side are we going to be on? Are we going to be on the left or right? We can't run. Yes, we can run to the violent side because we in it together because I saw a flat screen TV, some tennis shoes, some liquor, I might want to have an abortion or this or that. So I'm going to go there because I'm in it together because when I'm in it together, it's going to be what I think, what I feel, what I want, what I believe, how it benefits me, what's in it for me, and that's all that concerns me. We need to begin to take our eyes off of self and begin to look at others around us. And the thought came to me, always admired the black, I call them the black trailblazer of the 18 and 1600s, when the Sojourner Truth and Booker T. Washington and all these individuals saw an issue, saw a need, and they spoke up. One individual took the pain, took the verbal abuse from their own kind, you know, hatred and anger and frustration, and they stood their ground, and we are reaping the benefits from what they did. But now some are going back and say, well, I don't want to experience that. I don't want that. I want to do something different. I don't want to follow peaceful means. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that because we are in it together. We're in it together for a common cause. Just because we're in it together, we need to look at it and say, okay, what is their agenda? Does that agree with me? Well, I'm not in it together. I'm going to walk away from this in it together movement. And being a black individual, some individuals may don't like what I'm saying. When we as a black individual, we are told to go to college, get a degree, be the best you can be. Then when they put us in, we get a position where we have to supervise our own kind. We call it Uncle Tom or sellout, or you this or you that, and nobody want to listen to you, or you think you're better because you got a college degree. We know that goes on, but it's a secret. We should not talk. I was told that I should not say things about the black race because I'm making the black race look bad. How am I doing that? If nobody speaks up and point, am I pointing the finger? Am I condemning? No. I had to learn from my mistakes and my errors and my sinful behavior. You know, I'm glad that I listened to other people that point me in the right direction. So when we don't have people willing to speak the truth, regardless of the skin color, and just pacify it. You might as well just give me a baby bottle and pacify and let me suck on it and I just let it go and don't even care about it. But no, there's individuals out there that do care, that want to make a difference. It's not a bougie thing. It's not you living in a good neighborhood or you not black or you not black. You not. It's like you not black. What do you mean I'm not black? Because I'm not thinking like a black person. Then what is thinking like a black person? You know, it doesn't. A lot of stuff that people say doesn't make sense. So we must begin to think for ourselves. So the next time you meet someone that say directly that we're in it together, or they may say it in a different way, just simply say, oh really? This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm experiencing during the day and the night. I'm worrying about paying my bills, paying my rent, paying my house note, paying my car note, food on the table for my children. My baby mama daddy left me. You know, I don't know if my bills are gonna be paid. I don't know if I'm gonna be evicted next month. I don't know when my eat my next meal. So are we in it together? No, I don't know what I can do for you. You know, that's not me. I don't want to do that. I'm not. That's not me. So we not in it together. Then you meet someone else and say, "Oh, I see there's a need. I tell you what, this is what I have. I'm gonna buy you this. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna help you out." That's when you're in together, in it together. So in it together can go both ways. It can go the bad way, the good way. So thank you all for watching. I like you to share with other people. Allow them to hear what you heard. You can make a comment. You know, I don't come on and be condemning or whatever because I always use myself. I'll be back Wednesday with another topic. It's really I consider it's a blessing. It's very inspiring. It's very uplifting. And I'm gonna just give you the tweak it and say, what is the title, Anthony? What is the title gonna be? If you come, if you don't come, that's fine. If I touch one person, I've done my job. I call it the Black Awakening. The Black Awakening is here. I sat on my bed one morning and a thought came to my mind. The Black Awakening is here. Do you want to be a part of the Black Awakening? And I throw this one out. A Black Awakening is not a Black Awakening where you, yeah, it's awakening from your understanding of mental slavery, self-imposed incarceration. But the Black Awakening is to wake up to recognize that you can be better than where you are right now. Not a Black Awakening to riot, to steal, to loot, to shoot, to hurt other people, but a Black Awakening understanding that those who say they was for you are not for you. A Black Awakening say, I can do better if I go back to school. The Black Awakening, I'm not going to be walking around my pants sagging down below my waist. I'm going to pull my pants up. And I throw this out last time. Don't be surprised if we start seeing males walking around with dresses on because they're representing. Representing what? Wearing a dress? Representing wearing their pants below their waist? So a Black Awakening will begin to wake up from our self-imposed mental incarceration, our mental handcuffing of our mind. We need to be free. So that's what I'll be discussing Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So once again, I thank you. God willing, I'll be back Wednesday.